Hello, I'm Varsha and I'm here today to show you how to make and show you Jeera basmati rice. So I'm here to show you also that Indian cooking can be really straightforward, really simple, and I'm here to show you how to cook beautiful Indian food very simply with 7 everyday spices. So the 7 everyday spices I have is mustard seeds, cumin seeds, and then ground cumin seeds, ground coriander seeds. These all give beautiful like the ground coriander gives beautiful floral flavors. Cumin seeds and ground cumin gives a beautiful earthy flavor. We've got garam masala in the middle. Garam meaning warming, so that is warming spices like peppercorns and cloves, and then it's balanced out with like the sweeter spices of cinnamon, and then in between you've got cardamom as well. So that is garam masala, and then I've got turmeric. So yesterday I came on live and showed you some baro. That showed me using mustard seeds. Now today I'm using cumin seeds to show a really simple and really beautiful Jeera basmati rice using the absorption method. I always cook rice using the absorption method, even if it's kind of like a really simple, just boiled, rice, plain rice. What I mean is it plain rice, or if I'm flavouring it like I am today with cumin seeds with Jeera. So as my pan heats up, I've just poured in there. You can use your choice of oil. My choice of oil, I always love to cook with olive oil. So I popped about a good tablespoon of olive oil in here, just swirl that around. And then the rice I've got just over, for 4 people, just over 200 grams. I had some left over, so I just added it all in. So just over 200 grams of basmati rice. This is brown, long basmati rice. You've got lots of different types of brown basmati rice. So this is a white one, and it's not actually going to take that long to cook. It's not necessarily important to wash and soak it, but I've always done it just to maybe if there is any like dust or anything in the rice, and then I soaked it just for about 5 minutes. Again, that's not necessary, but if you are going to cook this or make rice using brown rice, then I would say definitely soak it. Now as my oil is heating up, I'm going to add just over a half a teaspoon of cumin seeds. As the oil heats up and then the oil is starting to fuse with the cumin seeds, and you get that lovely beautiful aromatic aroma of the cumin seeds. So popping them in. As the cumin seeds heat up, they sizzle and they release their aroma and their oils. So this is a really straightforward dish. Rice dish. I have got just over 200 grams of basmati rice. I've just popped in here a tablespoon of olive oil, just over half a teaspoon of cumin seeds. As you can see, they are sizzling. And in here, I've measured out double the amount of water. So I've got in here about 500 grams, but I'll show you how I measure my water. I won't be putting all of that in. Okay, the cumin seeds have started to sizzle. I'm now going to go in with make a bit of a noise because there's still a bit of water in here, my washed and drained rice. So pop that in. Pop that all in. And that's it. I'll just close the lid for a second so you can hear me. Now to the rice, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some turmeric. I love adding turmeric for all its health qualities. A grind of pepper in there, just a grind, just to get the health benefits of turmeric. And then I'm going to add some salt to this. Then I'll add the water, mix it all up, and then I'll pop the lid on to allow it to start cooking. So going to add don't have to, you can make it plain as well. You do not have to add the turmeric to it. I'm just adding about 1/4 of a teaspoon of turmeric, a little grind of pepper. You put chili in as well if you like. And about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now the next thing, all I need to do, I've got my water ready. I'm just going to stir that all up, stirring it so that all the rice grains get coated in the oil and the spices. There you go. It's slightly sticking to the bottom, but that's fine, because what's going to happen now is when I add the water, it will all lift off. There you go. Look at that lovely, beautiful, glossy rice. I'm going to add water now. Oops. Okay, so I like to add it just, even though I've measured it out for you, I like to add it just above, a knuckle above the water, the rice. So just a little bit less, yeah. So there, I reckon I've added about 400 mils of water there. I'm going to now pop the lid on, turn it up slightly, and then what you can do is, yeah, I always cook it. There's lots of different ways of cooking rice. I have always cooked it using the absorption method. I'll turn that down, I'll turn it up slightly so it cooks up. So what I'm waiting for now is the water to heat up. As the water's heating up, it's going to start to cook the rice. And once all the water has been absorbed, I'm then going to switch off the stove. I'll just quickly check it though. I'll switch off the stove and then let the heat of the pan and the water do the rest of the cooking. You let that then sit off heat for about a good 10 minutes or so, and then the rice is ready, and it's really beautiful, and it's really soft and fluffy, and you can just kind of like fluff it up with a fork. So this is you making rice using the absorption method. I have today made it with basmati rice using Jeera spice, as I'm here to show you that you can cook beautiful Indian dishes using just 7 everyday spices. Yesterday I was on here live and I showed you the use of mustard seeds. When you add mustard seeds to the oil, and then they pop and they release their oils and their aroma, and they made a really simple and humble dish called a sambaro, which you can have alongside as a side dish, and it's just a beautiful simple dish. So today I'm here showing you Jeera rice. So I get to show you how to use the jeera, how the aroma and the flavor of it comes through it when you heat a little bit of oil. You add it not to smoking hot oil, so please don't add it to smoking hot oil, because what you'll do then is heating oil that much isn't very good for your health anyway, but you'll burn the cumin seeds, and burnt cumin seeds are very bitter and they're not nice at all. So I always like to add the cumin seeds just as the oil is coming to a nice heat. I add them in, and then what they're doing at that same time as the oil is heating and the seeds are warming up, they're actually just infusing into the oil, so you've got beautiful aromatic cumin jeera infused oil. I have got 7 free recipes. You can go over to my link in bio, and these recipes that I'm going to do over the next few days are on there. So this is day 2. I've got Jeera rice on there. On the free recipes, I've got sambaro, which I made yesterday, got Jeera rice, and then using all these spices, I have got spiced potatoes. I mean, I love potatoes, so it's one of my favorite recipes as well. Then there is a masala sauce base, and that is an onion and tomato sauce using also then using ginger and garlic to create a beautiful sauce. It's layer upon layer upon layer upon layer of flavors coming in to the masala sauce. And then we also then add your spices, not all of them. To my masala sauce, I then do not add mustard seeds and cumin seeds. So even though I talk about having 7 everyday spices, they're not using all of them. Like today, for example, I've just used cumin seeds and turmeric. Yesterday I used mustard seeds and turmeric, or maybe pretty much I do use turmeric quite a bit as well, but I do like it, a very warming spice. Okay, so I'll just show you the rice. It's coming to a nice boil and it's cooking really, really well. I'll pop the lid back on, and so there's no need, there's no need to, after this is finished cooking, to drain any water out or rinse anything out. It's cooked using the absorption method. Okay, so back to the free recipes I'd like you to try. So with the masala sauce, once you've made the beautiful sauce, you can then add your protein. So be it chickpeas or butter beans or chicken, or even fish would be great in there. Boiled eggs, really great. And then you can mix the protein with some veggies. You know, always great to throw in a handful of baby spinach or some chopped up and peppers. I love adding peppers just to increase the amount of veggies in the dish as well. And then again, finishing them off with, I like to finish the sauce, masala sauce off with coriander. Not everybody likes coriander, and that's fine, but chopped up fresh coriander stalks. And then the final spice on the masala sauce I use is garam masala. Garam masala can be used either with all the spices. Some people use it like that. I have always used it at the end of a dish, not a rice dish. I actually do make a rice dish with garam masala, so I'll have to come over and show you how I make that one. That is actually a beautiful one as well. Okay, so then from the masala sauce, going back to my dishes, I said Bombay potatoes, and then I've got one pot dhal, a beautiful, it's a really simple one. It's not the traditional way I was taught to make dhal, but you know, it's a really simple way where I put everything into the pot. You could even put it into a what's it called, a slow cooker. Put everything in, like the red lentils. Red lentils do not take that long to cook as well. So if you're starting out and you want to make a lovely dal, I would always suggest start with red lentils. Red lentils are also very available, widely available as well. And so we've got red lentil dal, and then to the red lentil dal, I finish it off once you've got your red lentils, your onions, and what else do I put in there? Ginger, garlic, and the spices. Put the water in, let it cook. And once it's finished cooking, I then do a tadka, which is like a vagar, which is a flavor bomb. So I heat up the oil and put in sliced garlic. I love garlic. You can miss that part out, and you can put other things in the tadka as well, maybe some red chilies or cumin seeds as well. So I put actually cumin seeds and the fresh garlic, pour it into the dal, and that is perfect. So that's one of the dishes. The other dish, recipe I have in my free recipes in my link in bio. And please do subscribe to my channel if you want to learn to cook Indian dishes, you love Indian food, you want to make beautiful dishes in a very simple way with easy to follow recipes, then please press subscribe. And then I have a very simple recipe for it's a chickpea curry, but it's a really simple one that I used to make when my kids were younger. They're both left home now, but when they were younger and it was a busy period, you know, going to work, going to school, taking them swimming and all that. And it's basically, I call it a pantry curry. So you've got your tin of tomatoes, tin of chickpeas, and you've got your everyday spices. You throw them all in, and it is simple, but it works. And you know, you're making something from scratch, and it is delicious as well. So there's that recipe in there as well. And then also one of the recipes I've got is a 2-ingredient naan. By no means is that an authentic naan. However, it is really simple to make. It's really easy. It's really delicious, and I know you'll love it, because at the end of the day, it's just using self-raising flour and yogurt. You can either use plain self-raising flour or wholemeal self-raising flour, and you just put the two together, let the dough rest, and you make these really beautiful, they're really beautiful naans. So they are the free recipes I have got over. If you go to my link in bio, grab the freebie, and once you've gone through the freebie, you know, you've subscribed to me, you've tried a few of my recipes, then I do have an online course which is Spice Tin Recipe Club, and that has got 12 modules in there and little videos. I think important for those people who want to see visually what they're doing as well, and then follow a recipe as well. And that has got 12 modules, so you've got a module on just the tarkas, and you know, there's about 50 odd recipes there, and it's yours for life, and you just cook at your own pace. So it's a great way, a really great way to learn Indian cooking in a really simple way. And for sure, I kind of like love teaching you to cook Indian food using 7 everyday spices, and there's so many other spices as well, and that's kind of like the next progression. You can then start, once you get the confidence of knowing how the spices work, then you've got all sorts of other spices. You know, you've got star anise, you've got methi, fenugreek, you've got fennel, yeah, loads. But if you're a beginner and you'd like to learn Indian cooking, healthy, delicious, nutritious, easy to follow recipes, please subscribe. Please try my recipes. Right, let's have a look at this rice. Okay, so we're done. So I kept talking then, and thank you for listening if you're still here. And so I'm just going to show you the rice. All the water's been absorbed. Look at that. It's all absorbed. And now simply just going to keep it closed, and it's going to still carry on cooking. And this is making rice using the absorption method. Once you have, like, let's say I had about 240 grams of rice, and then in there I put about 400 mils or a little bit more, because I did measure out 500 in there, but I've got some left. I generally kind of like use a thumb rule in the water, and then as it came to the boil, and you just keep an eye on it, but keep the lid on. Once the water absorbs, you switch it off, you let it sit for a good 5 to 10 minutes, and then you get a fork and then you fluff it up, and you got this really beautiful fluffy rice. It's so good. I made that with basmati rice. You can do the same thing with brown basmati rice, or I went live yesterday on the other platform, and I made it with black rice as well. I also make, using this same recipe, all you have to remember to do is, if you're using something like brown rice or black rice, is to let it cook a little bit longer, and also increase the amount of water in there. It's normally kind of like another 100 mils or so, but once you kind of like make it a few times, you get to kind of get the gist of it. So I also do a variation using this recipe of half and half, like I used here basmati rice, half quinoa. It works, it's really good. So you know, that's kind of like really nice when you want to increase the amount of fiber in your diet, increase protein as well. You know, using brown rice, you've got a bit more fiber in there. In quinoa you have as well, so that works too. So from a basic recipe of Jeera rice, there's lots more different variations you can use, and that's what I'm all about as well, getting confidence in the kitchen, and also getting creative as well, and making the recipe your own. I'm just going to go and grab a fork, and I will show you my fluffy rice, fluffy basmati rice, which we've cooked using the absorption method. There you go. There, look at that. Okay, actually I need to take it back, don't I? Not take it forward. And there you go, look at that. Shall I bring it closer to you? I will bring that closer and bring that down. Oops, there you go. Really lovely. See, all that water's been absorbed. If you don't want to put the turmeric in, you don't have to put the turmeric in. And you can also just use this method, even if you want to just do without the spices and the water as well. Just a simple basmati rice. There you go. That is beautiful. And that will carry on cooking now for a little bit longer. And I'll pop this to the side. All right, so if you're still here, thank you. Please subscribe, try out my free recipes, then move on to my course. And it has been a pleasure. And so tomorrow I'll be back on again, and I will be cooking. Tomorrow I might do some potatoes using all these spices and So that recipe is a really great one, and that is also in the free recipes. And that recipe is really great because you can do it with potatoes. You can do the same recipe using sweet potatoes, or even right now, here in the UK, you've got pumpkins and butternut squash, so you can really get creative. So if you want to learn Indian cooking or just learn cooking as well, get confident using spices and get creative, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.